Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today we're talking Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. This is the second season, episode 5, The Ultimate Thirst. You guys, every episode is getting better. It's more drama, it's juicier, and I have lots to talk about on this one, and I'm excited to jump in. Before I do, I keep forgetting to remind everybody, I have Patreon. So if you're interested, check that out. It is patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. I'm going over the original Sex and the City series and having a lot of fun over there. $5 a month gets you access to all my back episodes, plus all the stuff. I do about 4 episodes a month. I'm really having a lot of fun over there, so check that out if you're interested. Okay, let's get into this. Oh, also, I'm doing a deep dive on Dirty Dancing. I loved it. It was one of my favorite deep dives I ever did. I found so much behind-the-scenes information out about that. I think the first 2 or 3 episodes are up now, so check that out, because it's not getting many views, so check that out. Okay, sorry. On to the Berserkers. So this episode, good Lord, my initial thoughts were, first of all, I loved that Tamra called it Menopause Manor. How perfect is that? Let's see, whatever. They talk about Brooks in this episode. I mean, hello. I have about 4 hours worth of things I want to talk about with Brooks. It was funny because I think it was it Tamra said no, it wasn't Tamra, Brandi maybe that said he wasn't very good looking, but then they kept talking about his sexual chemistry with Vicki, and it really made my stomach turn. Gary sent Jill flowers in this episode and ended up sending her an apple on a stick because, as you know, the Real Housewives of New York is apples, so he was giving her an apple back. Brandi has a very funny line about that and says, Gary knows where his BJs are buttered. I thought that was really good. I have in my notes, and I want to get this out there right off the bat, Taylor is an overfilled robot looking for a fight. That's exactly how I feel about her. So far, I've just been meh. But I realize this episode, I mean, they're all thirsty, right? Come on. But Taylor really is. It's like she thinks bringing up this old thing with Brandi, and I know I'm jumping around. I'm going to get to the episode. But bringing up this old thing with Brandi will get her back on the show. But, yeah, lots going on with Taylor. I have a lot to say about there. And also, Phaedra is my hero. I love her. I love her in this series. She's so much fun. She's so funny. I love her. What did she call them? Damn, I have to find in my notes. She wasn't calling them wigs. She was calling them units. She was calling them units. She said that she learned that on a movie set. So that's what she was calling it. So I love her units. Don't love the blonde wig, but I do love the long-haired ones that she's been rocking. Okay. Oh, and then best line of the episode, Phaedra talks about, she said, dinner was crazy, and there are some hard chairs. I just love that she would stop to notice that. I actually had the same thought when I saw this was, ooh, those chairs don't look comfy at all. She says she has cushion in her butt, and it's still a hard chair. Okay, so I'm going to dive into this episode. The big thought I want to get here is, I'm so over Dorinda. I really am. And her antics, you know, her whole thing, make it nice. I can't believe I'm quoting Vicki, but Vicki even brought up, like, her book should be called How to Not Make It Nice. You know, she really has gone out of her way to make everybody feel awful. And she keeps playing it off like she's on pause. She's on pause. No, bitch, you got fired, as you all did. And that's okay. That's what we're here to watch you for. But I think it makes it worse that she's so hanging on so tight to this thread of, I'm on pause. Okay, sure you are. How's that working out for you? And I would say when she drinks, she gets awful, but I think she just has an awful personality. And I don't want to just excuse and say, well, obviously she's doing this for the cameras, because I think she just has an awful personality. But I do think some of it's for the cameras, like, oh, if I pick these fights, or if I pretend like I'm mad about the hostess stuff, then it's good TV. But I just don't think she's that clever or has that much forethought. I think she really is mad about the hostess stuff. It's so ridiculous. I mean, I, for one, was excited when I heard it was in Bluestone Manor because of all the epic Bluestone Manor episodes we've gotten out of Roni. But enough is enough. Like, Bravo brings in this crew, and you're telling me they don't have people that can pay to clean it behind everybody. And she just keeps making a big deal of showing her guests how much work this is for her and how much effort it is. And it is a lot of effort to host people in your home, but good Lord, like, give it up. She keeps telling everybody else, oh, get over it, get over it. But she's not over it, right? I mean, so much to say there. Jill had a line where she said that this house is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, which is pretty funny, and that she has to be the voice of reason. Love Eva. I still wish she had a little bit more. She's too laid back, maybe. Maybe that's what it is. I wish she had a little bit more fight in her, but I enjoy her on the show. I do. I don't know. So much going on. There's a frog pees on Dorinda. It's silly. They do this hot air balloon thing. I think that is my worst nightmare come true. They do it in the yard. I'm so not into heights, so that would seriously be a big pass for me. Listen, I'm going to give my little disclaimer here because I've said this before. I get it. You do what you want to do that makes you feel happy. Fillers, Botox, go for it. Have fun. But when you're about to go on a reality show, probably not a good idea to pump your face full of it right before so it doesn't have a chance to settle. And I feel like that's what a lot of them did. But I got to call out Taylor specifically. Her face scares me. It's not even about getting older. I don't care that she's aged from the original series. It's been 10 plus years, however many years. But whatever she's done now, it's too much. It's like, settle down. The lips are already big. I know that from the original series. So when you blow up your face, it just makes you look like a puffer fish. That's all I can think of. Okay. So I believe it's Eva here that points out that they're having lunch in an alley. Sure. It is a weird setting for a lunch, but they have a nice lunch. And then they end up going back to the house to enjoy the pool. Supposedly, Jill and Dorinda make up here, but obviously they haven't made up. I don't know if they even need to make up, truthfully. Stuff comes out later, and we'll talk about that at that dinner. Dorinda gets it into it with everybody, and while Jill definitely is thirsty, Dorinda, I think, has them all beat. I really feel the desperation coming off of her. So much going on. Marco brings out flowers. They're these beautiful flowers that Gary sent, and that's the line where Brandi says Gary knows where his BJs are buttered. I love that. So Jill says that she wants to be a friend of on Real Housewives of New York. I think that's hilarious. I don't buy that for a second. Of course she wants to be main star, front and center. They were talking about how fame goes to people's heads. I think it's gone to all of their heads. And some of them, so has Filler. But I don't know. They were going to go to the Red Lion for dinner. Dorinda comes out. She's still just a lot. It's a lot of Dorinda. So my question to you is, are you happy that they did it Bluestone Manor? I just would enjoy it more if she would chill the F out with this hostess crap. It's too much. It's too over the top. She brings it up every 3 seconds. I know it's part of her brand. Oh, there's Phaedra's bathing suit, which made me laugh because we're in the Berkshires in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, sure, why wouldn't you wear that bathing suit? But I can't even think straight. Where was it? Dorinda, just, if you're going to make a big deal out of everything, like, maybe they should have done it somewhere else. Maybe it shouldn't have been at the Berkshires. Dinner time, everybody dressed alike, which was really funny. They all wore leather pants, except for a couple of them. Eva and Brandi, I believe, wore dresses, but a lot of the other ones wore leather pants. Red Lion, Dorinda keeps on about going back into her server role, because she used to be a server from the age of like 14 to 24, off and on at this Red Lion Inn. So Brandi brings up the rumors of a threesome with Vicki. Where did that come from? That was weird. Here's my thing on this. I actually was on Brandi's side for this. I know it's controversial, but I was. Taylor, all right, in case you didn't watch, here's what happened. Taylor brings up at dinner that, God, so many things happened, but Taylor brings up about season 2 Beverly Hills. Do you regret outing the surrogate thing with Adrienne Maloof? And Taylor is saying it's unforgivable. To me, it's just crazy, right? Like, this was 10 years ago. What does Taylor care? She wasn't even there, right? I mean, I don't know, maybe she was, but it didn't have anything to do with Taylor, so what does she care? She knows what show she was on, right? She claims to be good friends with Adrienne Maloof, but then is like, oh, I didn't know that because Brandi says, well, we're good now, we've made up, and Taylor didn't seem to know that, so I claim bullshit. Maybe she's not good friends with Adrienne Maloof, and honestly, I have my own. Adrienne Maloof was just never my favorite. I didn't think she was a great housewife, and then she didn't come to the reunion, so I have no use for her. But I just think that's a weird bragging thing for Taylor. I'm good friends with her. But Taylor does this whole thing. Season 1, classy ladies were there talking about Brandi coming on the next season and them not being classy. It's brought up about successful, the 6 of us, talking about Taylor's season. Brandi laughs, and that's where all hell breaks loose. Brandi says, oh, if it was so successful, or were you successful, your husband, and then the audio cuts out, implying that she potentially allegedly said, if it was so successful, then why did your husband take himself out? Well, everybody obviously freaked out. I was with Brandi until that. You can't, I mean, that's too far, right? Too far. And everybody absolutely freaks out. Brandi walks away. Phaedra and Jill comfort Brandi. I was on Brandi's side if she just shut the F up. I've actually been on her side on a lot of these arguments if she just shut the F up. She says it like it's a badge of honor, like, oh, you know, if you poke me, I say things that are too far. This is something different. This is dark. It's the same beef I have with Dorinda. I love a housewife fight. I love the drama. I'm here for it. But Dorinda takes things to such a dark place. When Dorinda does that thing where she laughs when somebody's crying, I think that's really, I don't know how to explain it, like a dark soul, a dark energy. I'm not into it. It actually takes the fun out for me, and I would say that's the same problem I'm having with Brandi. Even though I was on her side against Taylor, because Taylor sucks, I was on her side until she said that. Well, then Dorinda has to go to her dark place and brings up the kid. Brings up, what if it was one of your kids? Okay. Wrong, right? Like, just the worst thing you could say. It didn't belong. Dorinda didn't have a dog in this fight, didn't need to get involved, and did not need to take it to such a dark place. I'm actually surprised Brandi didn't throw back at her, what if it was your daughter? You know, like, and see how Dorinda would have handled that. Nobody is going to handle having their kid brought up in that way. I don't know how to explain it. They're just all very wrong, right? I mean, Brandi was wrong to take it to that place. Dorinda was wrong to continue on that place. Taylor sucks and was wrong to even bring all this stuff up from 10 years ago. That's my thing on that. So while I can't be Team Brandi because she says stuff like that, not Phaedra. I just saw Phaedra on the screen. Dorinda lost me this episode completely. I was still holding out hope that Dorinda would be fun, and I'm over her. I'm done with her. I hope she never comes back, honestly. Like, I'm good on Dorinda. So the episode leaves off with Dorinda coming up to talk to Brandi. Brandi says, bitch, get out of my face, and calls Dorinda out of control, which I totally agree with that, and says I'm about to F that B up, talking about Dorinda. Meanwhile, Vicki was trying to whoop it up the whole time. Tamra says on the way out, can't we just have a good night? We're going to go back and whoop it up. So that's where the episode ends. I don't know how they come back from this. So this is my thing on this. And I apologize. I know I was kind of all over the place with this episode. I just had so many notes and so many things I wanted to get my thoughts out on. But I enjoy this show. I was excited that it was at the Berkshires, and I am enjoying the season. But this is dark. Real dark, and that's not what I watch the show for. I'm here for the drama, the fights, the fashion, whatever it is, you know what I mean? The Brooks of it all, the fake cancer of it all of that. I'm here for it. I love it. But that's not what this is. And I feel a dark energy. I mean, Brandi always says the worst things, but then she tries to excuse it away. Well, you know that about me. I say the worst things. No, you don't just get to say that. You don't just get to say that's a part of your personality. But Dorinda has a dark energy about her. I don't know how to explain it. Just a dark inside. I think she's just dark. It was funny, they flash back to her apparently telling Jill that she broke up with John because he let the fame go to his head. And Jill rightly pointed out, I think that's you, Dorinda. And I actually feel the same way. The same way. I feel like Dorinda has kind of let it go to her head and has lost sight of things. So I had a few more thoughts before we wrap up of just random little things that happen in the show. I do think Jill is thirsty, but I don't hate that about her. I don't know why. I still enjoy Jill. I'm okay with her. She doesn't really bother me. I know it's like I know what I'm getting with her, and I'm okay with that. At least she doesn't go to a dark, dark place. And I can relate to Jill because I don't like conflict either. I don't like confrontation. So when Jill walked up and just hugged Dorinda and said, like, I don't want to fight with a drunk person. I don't want to make this worse, so I'll just say I'm sorry. I can relate to that. I'd rather just say I'm sorry, even if I don't think I'm wrong, just get it over with. I don't want to fight. Okay. So I can relate to Jill on that. The other funny thing is Vicki. Okay, you guys know my feelings on Vicki. I am not a fan at all. That aside, she just got dumped right before. I mean, literally, was it the day she was coming here, the day before she was coming here? Who cares? But Dorinda at dinner, again, it's like she likes to find people that are at a low point and pounce on them. So Vicki, and while, again, I have no sympathy for Vicki, Vicki sucks. It's like Dorinda sensed that she was at a low point and pounced on it and said, stop being the victim. If 8 days is too much for you, why'd you sign up for it? And says that she's been depressed about Vicki and stop being a victim. We don't want to hear it. Then there's you in urgent care. You know, it's like, oh God, Dorinda, like that's for us, the viewers, to comment on. Like, are you really going to say that to your guest if you pride yourself on being the hostess? I don't know. Eva brings up that it is Dorinda's home, so she understands. And yeah, I agree. I wouldn't want somebody super negative about everything. But in fairness, I don't like Vicki. I feel the need to say that every 3 seconds. I think Vicki's been all right. I mean, if you really think about what she's been through, right? Getting unceremoniously dumped right beforehand, like, I think she's doing better than I would. I don't know that I'd be talking about whooping it up, you know. I'd be pretty depressed too, so I don't know. I think that's the majority of what happened. My standout is still Phaedra. I love her. And honestly, it's funny because this is a different thought for me because I liked Phaedra fine. I didn't really watch. No, I watched her some on Atlanta, but then I didn't watch the later seasons of Atlanta, so I really don't know. I know what happened, but I don't really want to go back into all that, how she got let go. But if I forget about that for a second, just take this show. She's a star. Like, I want her back on my screen. She has these funny one-liners, and I think what I'm gravitating toward is, again, you got Dorinda with her horrible darkness. You got, Brandi saying horrible dark things. There's lots of darkness, but then Phaedra is bringing lightness with her quips and her units and her comments about the hard chairs and her comfy butt and whatever else, she's just kind of a welcome comic relief for me. I'm enjoying her. And honestly, I'd hope that's what Dorinda would be, but she's just not. I don't know what I was thinking there. So that's it for the episode. I'm still very much enjoying this. I'm excited to see where this goes. I feel like next week will be more fireworks since they left off in the middle of Brandi calling Dorinda a bitch and Dorinda reacting to that. So we'll see what happens there. I'd be okay if Taylor didn't show back up. I just don't care about her. And I didn't think there was anybody I cared less about than Vicki, but it turns out it's Taylor. Anyway, so that's it for me, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this recap. Hey, if you're interested, do check out Patreon. Again, $5 a month. It gets you access to all my back catalog, all the episodes I've recorded, and I put out one a week of the new stuff. And I'm covering the Sex and the City series. I found a lot of cool behind-the-scenes stuff on that. Check that out. I do have a second channel. It's called RHR. You can actually find it if you go to my main page here on Real Housewives Recap. Scroll to the bottom. You'll see a link to my second channel. If you don't mind hitting that subscribe button. I know I keep bringing it up, but I really am trying to build up that channel. I'm going to turn it into something. Ideally, a travel channel. We'll see. Right now, it's just kind of catching overflow of videos, TikToks, that sort of thing. But do check that out. Tell your friends about me. I'm really trying to grow. And I appreciate every single one of you that take the time to watch these videos. And it really helps me out. Oh, and then big announcement tomorrow, which is, Friday? I can't keep my days straight. Friday the 8th. I have, if you've been following my Johnny Depp stuff, I'm not even kidding you guys. I have a very long, very big video coming out. So if you're interested, check that out. Even if you're not interested, but you like my channel, just leave it running in the background while you do housework. It's cool. I get it. But it's 4 hours long. I'm not even kidding. It's 4 hours and some change. So check that out. I'm very excited about that. Guys, I can't thank you enough for all the lovely comments, for all the support, just for being here. And I appreciate every single one of you. I really do. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And don't be dark like Dorinda. And I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.